I just saw you couldn't see the stream, unfortunately. He actually goes into the pit lane. Fortunate for him. But yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but Daniel move it up to P3 and Bolan move it up to P2. But let's see who got anybody else. Justice did 1 minute 41.3. I think Mr. Pop, yeah, Mr. Pop just crossed out to the line. 1 minute 41.6 by Mr. Pop. So pretty decent time for him. Janeski, missing the corner completely. He was 2 tenths up. I think Lewis 5 tenths up already, but of course he had to improve that time because he had done a 1 minute 48. Oh, Lewis spins. Oh, he just lost it on the exit here. In qualifying, but yeah, unfortunately he has only one more shot in the back to improve the time, and you know right now his time is not particularly well. Bullet Boy, I think, is the next. Yeah, it is Bullet Boy. There's the next guy to come over the line. We have to see what can Bullet Boy do in the house. House one of the favorites to win the Constructor Championship, so they have to perform now. Bullet Boy crossing that 1 minute 41.4 from Bullet Boy. So he goes up to P6 just in front of his teammate Westy. I think we have a Red Bull McCrew just starting his flying lap time. His second last flying lap time from LR McCrew. Then we got Nico, who's not on lap 2. He's, as you can see, I think lowest, but yeah, as we saw, he had wing damage, so he's definitely going to the pit lane. Otherwise, I don't think we have anybody else. I think we have extra rotation that's actually not. He's invalidated. Oh, shame from extra rotation. Flint Finisher also not set a lap time in qualifying. He has to go out and set a lap time, you know. McCrew, let's go up with him because he's actually on a lap time. McCrew. So I have to see what can McCrew do in first sector. He does a 1 minute 29.8, which is not a bad first sector for LR McCrew. Oh, just sliding out of the exit here, but he takes it still nice though. He doesn't lose a lot of time, but still he lost around, I would say, 2 tenths on just that mistake. You know, this track is a difficult one. It's not a hard one to manage. So definitely will be very hard for the drivers here. Oh, McCrew again makes a mistake. Really struggling for grip at the moment, as you can see. McCrew giving it all out. For this lap time, but he just has to set a lap time. I think he just has to calm down a little bit on the track. He just has to set a lap time first, and then he can push. I think he has time for another more. 13.9 he does. It doesn't look like he has a perfect lap for McCrew. There's still plenty of time he can find him this time, but we have to see what he can do in the last sector here. How much time can he find? So LR McCrew coming down to the final 2 corners. He takes his speed, he takes this nicely though. Oh, just making him again, trying to lose the car. McCrew really struggling for grip because of the P12 only. That lap could be so much better if he just imagine not do this mistake. I think Flame Finisher is the next guy to start a lap time. He is the next guy to start a lap time. Flame Finisher. He also has to set a lap time, but I don't think he has time to set another lap time. So he has to. This lap has to be perfect. I think Bolan is giving his teammate some little bit of slipstream. So Flame Finisher and Bolan both giving their teammates some slipstream. Bolan, and then he moves out of the way. Yes, he does. So Flame Finisher and Bolan both doing, as we call it, slipstream to each other. Oh, and sorry for the internet connection issue. I don't know what's going on at the moment. My house I have pretty good internet. I think it's just the PS4 already. But we're trying to keep going. Please let me know in the chat if it is improving. I have to try and fix it later on. If the Wi-Fi didn't improve, but who we haven't let? I think Daniel, wasn't let. But I think, Flint Finisher was he is invalidated, unfortunately. But the last lap's beginning to stop. Toxic Tomato. Let's go on board with Toxic Tomato. Right now the guy on pole to 1 minute 40.9. That's a wonderful left time by Toxic Tomato here. So let's go on board with Toxic Tomato and see what he can do on his flying lap time. What do you do in the first second? We saw Josh did a 1 minute 29.7. And Toxic Tomato does a 1 minute 29.7 as well. He's 26,000 lap up on his lap time. I think who was that cross going up? I think there was somebody going up. It was Westy, yeah, crossing up to P8. So Westy goes up to P8 with 1 minute 41.3. I think do we have anybody else crossing the line? Extra rotation is just starting his lap time. It's not him. I think Daniel. No, it's not Daniel. It is his teammate or Centric T crossing the line. He will do a 1 minute 41.6. Not improve. He still stays in P9. Then we got one of the Renault cars. I think it is Nico crossing the line. He's just starting his lap time. Never mind. And we're Bullet also starting lap time. So is Daniel the first guy to cross the line? He's 1.5 tenths up on his flying lap time, Daniel. This will put him up to P2. Daniel crossing the line. He just goes behind Toxic Tomato. 140.9 by him. But Lewis is next guy to cross the line. Oh, makes a mistake out of the final corner. It's not going to be a particularly great lap from Lewis here, but he actually goes up to P7, still 1 minute 41.3. Toxic Tomato is 3 tenths up on his flying lap time. Toxic Tomato 40.5. Wow, what a lap time by Toxic Tomato. Then we got Just Asses crossing the line. He goes up to P3, 41.4, no, 41.1, and his teammate just goes behind him. So it shows they have really good pace, both of the racing points. I think Bolan is next guy to cross the line. He goes up to P3, 141.1. Just goes in front of Just Asses. Just can see how close this field is right now. It's absolutely insane. Flint finisher goes into the pit lane. He's not improving. He started like, oh, it's beginning to rain. It's actually beginning to rain here out. So not great at all. Extra rotation just managed to settle out to 1 minute 42.0. And we got Jaws. So will the rain stop Jaws from improving? He will not. He still goes up to P2. Just in front of Daniel. Jaws goes. I think Lyronix is the next guy to crossing the line. He does a 1 minute 41.6. Goes up to P10. There we got Nico crossing the line. Nico is invalidated, so he's not improving. Centricity not improving as well. I think it's Bullet Boy crossing the line now. Bullet Boy goes up to P7, and I think that's all. Yep, that's all from qualifying session today. I will just take a drink and I'll be back. But yeah, what a qualifier. Bullet Boy saying the chat, oh, the rain cost him a little bit. Yeah, the rain was beginning to dry a lot or coming down, but it still means Toxic Tomato will start on pole position, 4 tenths of a second to Joss in second. But yeah, Toxic Tomato take the front row, Joss in second place, Dan in third, Bolan in fourth, Just As in fifth, Mr. Pop, Excel in sixth, Bullet Boy in 7, West in 8, Lewis in 9, Lyronix in 10, Centricity in 11, Extra Rotation 12, Nico in 13, McCrew in 14, Janeski in 15, and Flynn Finisher, unfortunately not setting a time in qualification, and we start last. So yeah, that was the qualification. The two rivals will start 1-2 in the race, which will be interesting to see how they will do. And also they have a little bit of constructor battles between Mercedes and Williams. So Mercedes is trying to closing the gap, and right now with extra rotation starting P12 and Lewis starting, I believe, P7, they are still in the hands, Mercedes. But of course, if you start outside of the top 10, you can do the ultimate strat with starting on the medium tires, which will benefit you at the end because you will go in the soft tires and be quicker. So we have to see if somebody does that. If I was out of the top 10, I would definitely do it. But we have to see if the drivers will do it. It is a track where you can overtake, so it was not like last week in Sandward where it was very difficult to overtake. But we have to see how the drivers does in today's race. Just getting the session started. I'm going on the formation lap here, and let's see what tire the drivers have taken from outside of the top 10. That'll be a very just getting tires. And yeah, as said, there is some guys is Centricity to TV starting on the medium tires. Extra rotations also starting on the medium tires. Nico on the medium tires as well, and McCrew and Janeski and Blinfincher both starting on the soft tires. Very interesting. I don't know how they were thinking of the strategy. Maybe they're thinking they were trying to get past as quickly as possible here. But we have to see what it does. But Josh, Toxic Tomato has to make the gap to Josh if you wanna, close down on Josh, because Josh, he knows you don't have to play mind games with Toxic Tomato in the starts here. He knows, he don't want to miss a lot of points to Toxic Tomato. So, I don't think he will try an aggressive move. I think he will still trying to get the win, of course. But he will take a little bit of slowly, I believe. But yeah, again, Flynn Finisher really has to push to get up. The same with Janeski, both starting on the soft tires, so they will have to push to get up the field. And Lewis, the championship winner for the sprint championship, is already down to P9, so not great at all. Westy, the third man in the third place in the standings, is in 8th position, so he also needs to make some positions up in the race. So it'll be interesting to see with the lights out how they will do. Definitely, and how the soft tires will do. These how Janeski can finish. They have to get through, but they also don't need to get damaged. That'll be their life over. Same with the medium guys. They have to get out of trouble at the start and just follow the guys. So it will be very interesting. We're coming out, just lining up the grid now to the guys here at Spa. Only 22 laps, but it is of course because the track is so long. And here as the predicted stop strategy will be soft hard, but I know you can do soft medium here. I definitely know you can do that. So Code is doing a little bit of a mistake there, but we have to see if people will do soft medium or soft hard. Maybe people forget to put it on mediums. We never know. We have to see. But yeah, everyone lining up the grid for the finisher. We're just waiting on the lights for him, and then we are ready to start the race. We're just getting a good angle of the 5 red lights. 5 red lights! And away we go. Or not. No, we're not going yet. A little bit of glitching here. Still going, we have to find out. And there we go. 5 red lights is out. I think Josh gets a pretty... Yeah, he's already side by side with Toxic Tomato. Coming to the corner, Toxic Tomato defends it from Josh. Just sticks behind of how it's looking here behind. Ooh, the 2 racing points going side by side into our roofs. They will be a very, very tricky when he goes side by side, but Master Pop sticks behind here. Bullet by Centricity. Centricity is this contact. Centricity is round, but he manages to save it. Gets a little bit of damage here. Lewis, they had damage on his front wing. He doesn't, but Centricity has damage. You have to pit this up. Josh is round. No, it's Bolin. Bolin is round. Chaos at the start. Bolin is round. He was trying to send it down the inside of Toxic Tomato. He doesn't have any damage on the front. Extra rotations also is round. So carnage at the start here. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't think Lewis have any damage. Same with extra rotations. They're going side by side now. Extra rotation will have to be careful. You don't want to get more damage. Bolin doesn't have any damage. Centricity has damage on the front ring. So you have to pit this lap. Toxic Tomato already got a 1 second gap to just behind him. So looking great from Toxic Tomato right now. Daniel down in third. He's 9 tenths behind. 8 tenths actually behind. Just behind in front. But of course it's hard to stick up with these two guys here to field. Otherwise it looks pretty clean right now. Flynn finish and Janeski. Both move it fast up. They already gained it. 6 and 5 positions. And here extra rotation gets through. Lewis. Do Lewis have any damage? It looks like he has. But it doesn't look like he has any damage. But maybe he has. Maybe have some light green damage. Flynn Finisher gets through. ILT Nico from P9 now. So Flynn Finisher still moving on to trying to get these positions. Centric to piss this lap. Of course. He has his damage. You have to pit this lap. And just as close to the gap. So he's now 7 tenths behind. Daniel also sticking in here. So everyone is actually under the second except Bolin and Centricity. Of course. So everybody's still holding in. Mr. Pop sticking behind his teammate right now. Otherwise we have Flint Finisher here, who is trying to stick on with Lyronix here. But yeah. Crazy start. Bolin, I thought it was just trying to go side by side for just with losing. I think extra rotation. And McCrew does contact. Lewis gets through both. McCrew and extra rotations make the mistake. I think McCrew lets them through and Bolin goes down inside there. Then and Bolin trying to send it down inside of extra rotation. A little bit of contact with the two of them. But Bolin managed to get through extra rotation and McCrew. So both extra rotation and McCrew, they have to be careful. They're on the medium, so I don't want to lose too much time. McCrew gets through. Oh, what an overtake by McCrew into that corner. You don't see overtakes a lot there, but he done it. McCrew's a great job by him. And we're speaking at the top here. We still have Toxic Tomato and Josh. 8 tenths of a second is the gap between these two guys. So Toxic Tomato trying to make the gap, but Josh have to be. They have the same ERS actually, kind of running. And Daniel. He's 9 tenths second. He has to stick in. Otherwise, just as behind him will come and try to make a move. And Flynn Finisher goes down around the outside actually of Lyronix. Flynn Finisher moves up to P8. So Flynn Finisher is on a man on a charge right now. He's making a move up to P8. Lyronix is still not. He's losing a lot of time on the exit to him. I was just gonna say he was trying to make repass, but he can't unfortunately. Nico, Janeski teammate. I think he has to let him through. Otherwise, his teammate will be in danger of Lewis behind him coming fastly. So, yeah, and he also lets him through. Nico lets his teammate through. Lewis is coming behind him now. But Lewis gets a beautiful exit. He goes round the outside now of Nico. LT Nico. What can he do? Nico also have the DRS. Janeski's defending it from all the worth. They're coming side by side. Lewis goes round the outside of Janeski. Oh, a little bit of contact now. They both managed to survive that one. I think just as have gone through Daniel for P3rd now. So Daniel is up to no. So and Daniel just close to losing by outside. Justice up to P3rd. Daniel up to P4. Down to P4th. But yeah, Lewis here got through Janeski. Same with on Nico. So now Nico is down to P12. He's of course on the medium tires. Bolin is starting to make his way back at the race here. Unfortunately, that accident at the start costing him some time, so he has to try to come back at this race. Really, just have to take it easy right now. You know, you don't want to make another mistake. You just have to take it easy on these guys. He knows he's faster. You don't want to lose a lot of time. But he's already closing up on Nico. Looks like Bolin would try to make a move on Nico already now. Let's see. If we would do it into car, I think he's too far back. Yeah, he's too far back to send it. Unfortunately for Bolin, and you know these guys have DRS. So just as he's just under the second of the guys, he actually set the fastest lap of the race. So just as really good on pace. Daniel's dropping down a little bit. He's now in fear of coming. Mr. Pop behind him. He will trying to get past him here. I think the top two guys is very close. Toxic Tomato and Josh. 0.5 of a second, they are behind each other right now. So definitely a fight between these two guys up the top here. Just sticking in the DRS. Ooh. Let's see, he's coming close, but he's not close enough. Oh, is he to make a move? No, just sticks behind. Let's see here, Mr. Pop. Mr. Pop also not close enough to make a move on Daniel, unfortunately. I think Janeski, and Bolin. Actually, said Nico gives him a lot of space. Bolin goes round the outside, and Bolin is up to P12 at this rate. So Nico getting passed by Bolin to P12 now. So Bolin goes up to P12, and he's man on a mission now. He will trying to find Janeski and Lewis to get up to P12 at this race. And Strange Trick, of course, already done this pit stop. He has to pit again, unfortunately. Very unfortunate by him. He just has to do his race right now. Just have to focus, get his head down, and then he will definitely try and be back. And now Mr. Pop actually got out of the second of Daniel. So Daniel's pushing a little bit now, just trying to get over. Bullet Boy is trying to make all he can do to get back under now. Yeah, we have, of course, Josh and Toxic Tomato fighting for second place. No, first place, sorry. And looks like Josh is 3 turns behind. It looks like he will just straight pass Toxic Tomato the straight. So we have to see here that Justice is just under a second. He's pushing. You can see how much he's pushing. The other to have 16, 17 DRS. Just have only 20%. He's just pushing to be in the second of these guys. They're really, really quick. Mr. Pop dropping down, of course. Bullet Boy. He's making up train right now with Bullet Boy, Westy, and Flint Finisher. All of them. But yeah, let's go by the top two guys. I'm making a fight for the lead here. I think this time Josh will get past Toxic Tomato. Toxic Tomato defends it. He will go right outside of Toxic Tomato. Toxic Tomato late on the brakes. He is through, and Bullet Boy is through on Mr. Pop. So Bullet Boy goes up to P5 now. Janeski passes Lewis for P10. So Janeski moves up to P10. Bolin's trying to close down here. But yeah, Josh couldn't make the move stick on Toxic Tomato, so Toxic Tomato stays here. And now Bullet Boy is trying to catch Daniel in front. He has to try to catch him if he wants any chance, any hopes in this race to get a podium. He has to, but he's also catching a lot. He already catches 0.3 of a second on Daniel. So Bullet Boy looking great right now. Mr. Pop is losing a little bit of time. Westy and Flint Finisher trying to close down that gap on them. Bolin's now another second of Janet Lewis, so also a little bit of fight down here. Centric is actually closing down on McCrew right now. McCrew is struggling a little bit for grip, it looks like. But we have the top two here. Josh still 0.5 of a second. Just as it's you can see he's only have 9% left and he's erased. How much is this guy pushing to actually stay? Justice already goes into a pit lane of lap 5. He's making the undercutting these guys. He knows he can catch these guys, but he can catch them on a strategy. So a very technical move by Justice. What tire will Justice go on? That will be the question. I think he will go on the medium tire. He will go on the medium tires. So Justice goes on the medium tires. How would the two in front? Will they react to that, or will they stay out? They will definitely be that. They're still battling here, Josh again. But this time he's too far back to actually make a move. Let run. Ooh, who's that? Mr. Pop. Mr. Pop is round. Oh no, Mr. Pop is round. I don't think he has any damage on the front wing. No, but Mr. Pop, unfortunately, is round. Extra rotation gets through Nico. Fighting here by extra rotation. Gets the move done. But yeah, it's bad for Mr. Pop. Loses the car. I don't know what happened there, but it looks like he just spun. Maybe got hit behind. I have no idea. But he has no damage on his front wing, luckily. But yeah, he has to. Ooh, who's that? That's McCrew. McCrew is round. Ella McCrew is round. Unfortunately for McCrew, he got. Oh, actually not. I don't think he has damage, McCrew. But that's not great at all. This race is not going well for McCrew. At any point right now, so definitely, yeah, not great for McCrew. But yeah, the top two here, McCrew is just sticking behind, but top 2 doesn't pit. They doesn't pit right now, so and Daniel goes into the pit lane. So Daniel is sticking into the pit lane. And let's see how he will come out to just as of course he will come behind, but how much? It was around 1 second, if I'm believing. Yeah, 1 second. Let's see how much that just as have gained. Then we can see. And then actually goes on the hard tires. So then going on a new, different strategy than Just As's. But you can see Just As goes actually not a lot, but he is comfortable ahead of Daniel. Around 2 seconds actually. Lewis coming out of the pit was just drifting out of the pit lane. Bolan actually on the hard tires. So 2 guys going on the hard tires, very interesting. Centricity here coming out of P4 team as the pop. Coming out P15 and McCrew of course ending up. He has damage. I have to fix that throwing damage. And now Toxic Tomato has the gap on 1.3 seconds too. Toxic Tomato just really losing some time here to Toxic Tomato. I think Toxic Tomato, yeah, Toxic Tomato is pushing a lot more now. He knows he wanna pit this lap. He has seen Daniel and he has seen the guys behind him has pitted, so he's planning to tuck that out. I think Josh also have to push a little bit more. Otherwise, if he's of course staying up. He's still not going in. Flint Finisher is just behind Westy right now, so they're fighting for P4 on track, but well, right now on track P4, but around P7 I believe. But I also think they have to pit this lap. I think definitely Flint Finisher. Let's see if the top 2 guys goes in. They both go into the pit lane. Bullet Boy goes in. Westy can't go in. He can't go into the pit lane, and Flint Finisher actually stays out. Lironic stays out. And McCrew is round again. This is just not McCrew's race at all. But yeah, the top 4 stays out. Interesting enough. Extra rotation, Nico of course staying out. They're on the soft tires. They're medium tires. They should not pit at all. But yeah, we're having a fight for the lead of the race. Flint Finisher now on Westy. Flint Finisher goes round the outside of Westy now. He doesn't have a lot of ERS. Westy doesn't have any ERS either. So. But yeah, Flint Finisher makes the move. He's up to P1 of this race right now. Top 4 having a little bit of a battle. Nico and Extra Rotation have a battle. And now Toxic Tomato gets through. Actually, Just doesn't jump at him, but Just as gets passed by Toxic Tomato again. Just losing time again, McCrew. Just not McCrew's race at all. He's losing so much time. Can't even control the car. And again, I don't know what's going on for McCrew today. Not looking like it is his race at all. But Flint Finisher already 9/10 of a second gap down to Westy. Actually 1 second now, so he's definitely a man on a mission. Very quick. He's making a big gap to the guy behind. I think McCrew is actually just going and retiring this race. I don't think there's any point left for McCrew to continue on and confirm he's going into the pit. I think he's just retiring now. And he is definitely Ella McCrew. And there's virtual safety car coming out. So this could be a good hand from the top guys here. That they will pit. This will be interesting. They confirm they all go in. Oh, and Chinesky just spinning. But luckily he doesn't give any damage. But they go into the pit. How much would they lose to Toxic Tomato on these guys? Everyone actually goes into the pit lane right now. They will gain time. How much time will they gain, these guys, though? That'll be the question. But they definitely won some time. I think Flint Finisher is coming around Bullet Boy. He's coming in front of Daniel as well. So Flint Finisher, this is just brilliant from him right now. He's up to P4 this race. And Daniel, you know, he's on these hard tires. He's the guy that's gonna struggle the most. And then we have the lights out again. But at top 2, Just Asses. And now he's sent the DRS to Toxic Tomato. He can still he can save some ERS a little bit now, Just Asses. Which of course will be great for him. And Flint Finisher 2 seconds down, but of course he's on the fresh tires. He will close the gap up definitely very quickly. But yeah, very good for these guys. They have The safety car came in at the perfect time for them. That helped their race a lot. But how just is frustrating, of course, that just as it comes in front of him, that was not the plan at all for him to come behind. Just as I just don't think they knew just as were pitting. So that's incredible. But yeah, Bullet Boy actually gets through Daniel. Of course, he's on the fresher medium tires. I think that was a stupid move by Bullet Boy because now Daniel will get the DRS and probably just get back past him. So that was not particularly the best he could have done in that situation, Bullet Boy, because you could just see Daniel. He's just behind him. He should have waited to the straight and get past there. Or if he can make the gap, which I don't think he can. But we have to see. Looks like he's closing a lot up on him. But yeah, here is it. Bullet Boy. Will he get past that? Will Daniel get past him? We have to see. Bullet Boy. And yeah. But yeah, here is it. Sorry for a little bit here. But yeah, still, Toxic Tomato is 0.8 of a second. He has the 0.8 of a second gap to Just As in second place. Just is closing the gap a lot on Just As is right now. So Just is eager to get past. He really want to get past Just As is, so he can fight for the win. Because that's what he wants in the championship. Bullet Boy is actually not making the gap. And as we say that, yeah, you can see how much Just is pushing. He's going down the inside now of Just As's. And just gets through. Great move by Josh, sorry, to get out the P2. Now he has to challenge down. Now he has to catch up to Toxic Tomato, which will be great to see. But yeah, Daniel's still in. He's only 4 tenths behind Bullet Boy, which is insane though. Even though he's on the hard tires, Daniel. So that's Lewis actually gets through. Janetsky up to P9 now. Lewis in the Mercedes. Mercedes have to fight in the championship. They want to get to Lewis. He has to get points. Bolin gets past. Extra rotation for P11. And Mr. Pop and Centric, they're fighting for the last position. We have a battle for the last position. Mr. Pop just want to get past. He want to get points. He really has to get points. But unfortunately, it's not going well for him right now, Mr. Pop. Unfortunately, Josh, he's trying everything he can to close the gap on Toxic Tomato, but Toxic Tomato is just quick. Nico spawn same place as McCrew. Not the debut race he has, not his debut race, Nico, but not his returning race that he will had. And he spins again just after that. Definitely not his race. At all. So yeah, very, very terrible from Nico. A race he just want to forget. And you can see just how much he's pushing. He's already saying the fastest lap of the race. He's 8 tenths behind. But yeah, 7 tenths behind. He is now just behind Toxic Tomato. So let's see this. Josh, he's not getting past this time on Toxic Tomato. Sticks behind, but now he's definitely closer than ever. Oh, actually, he has been close, but he's very, very close on Toxic Tomato right now. So he will try and close the gap and trying to make a move. He has 10 laps to go to try to make a move on him. But yeah, still Daniel in the DS zone of Bullet Boy for P5. And actually, Flint Fincher gets the 3-second time penalty. I don't know the situation with penalty. I will check that later. But we have a big trade here. Bullet Boy is doing all the way down to P10. There's a big battle for them. Bullet again, also not Boland's race. He's not been the luckiest one in this. Yeah, not the luckiest race. He's done Centricity and Nico, also not been the greatest race for them. But Josh now only 2 tenths behind. Talk to me. He's just behind him, almost kissing his ass here. But yeah, Josh. This time I think he will get past him. He just gets a good exit out the turn 1 here. He will definitely try to get past. He gets the finest. I don't want to say it's a terrible exit by Josh here. But yeah, look how close Josh is. He's trying to get past here on Toxic Tomato. He goes down the inside. Toxic Tomato doesn't defend. He knows he's already getting past. So no point in defending it. And Josh is out to P1. Toxic Tomato has to stick on with him if you want to keep it. And Daniel actually gets past Bullet Boy again for P5. So Daniel gets back pass. I think Daniel's size already beginning to get good. I think he has begun to confident in them now. But look at how this big train is. So now Lewis and Janeski going side by side. Ooh, very tricky corner. You can go side by side, but somehow these two go side by side. Janeski, Reiners, and Lewis squeeze him a little bit off, and Janeski had to back out that one. So Lewis is in front of Janeski. Still, he manages to keep it. This place, and now just as it is falling apart, Flint Fincher, even though he was lucky, he hadn't closed the gap on these guys. Daniel. He had made the gap to Daniel though, so but a great race from Flint Finisher. I will say P6 into P4 right now. I don't want to jinx him at any point, so I'm just not talking about that anymore. Don't want to jinx him. But the top 2 is still 6 tenths of a second gap. So actually Josh is beginning to make this gap bigger to Toxic Tomato here. So Josh really have some great pace in this car. And but yeah, 8 tenths of a second. And now actually Daniel beginning to make the gap to Bullet by 7 tenths of a second is the gap now. Neuronix is beginning to challenge down Westy for P7. They're interesting. And who's that? As Yellow Flag as Nico again is around. Nico, not been a great race for the L team and the Belgium man at all. But he's continuing on. He's trying all he can to get, well, just to get the lap, you know. Right now, I think it's the best for him just to get some laps and get the confident. I know he's not been playing the game a lot because he's been away. So very unfortunate of him, of course. But he'll come back stronger. I know he will. Still continuing on though, so that's great to see. But now Bullet Boy's 8 tenths of a second down, 9 tenths actually now on Daniel here. So the gap is rising. The gap is beginning to get bigger. So that will be close. Boland is somehow not closing the gap down. So do Boland have any damage? I don't know if he has. Otherwise, maybe it's just the tires. But we can see Daniel really have some great pace in this car. The top 2 still fighting along for P2. P1 and P2 here, but it looks like Josh really has the better pace. He's 8 tenths in front of Toxic Tomato, you can see, but they both had no use. So they're really in the same ES mode, these guys. It's a great battle they will have, you know, 2 championship rivals fighting for the win tonight, so that'll be great. Yeah, but now you can see just how much they're pulling away from just as a already 2.8 seconds. I think for 3 laps ago that was 1.5 the gap. They are really lower. You have to do this, and that's very really hard for these guys. But big DRS train here. Bullet Boy still had the DRS, but he's not in the slipstream at all on Daniels. That means that Westy can close a lot down on his teammate. And, you know, if I was the Haas team, if Bullet Boy is... Westy is faster than Bullet Boy, I will do team orders and let him through. But of course, that'll be hard when you have this big DRS train, you know. So, it's... if they want to do this. So right now they're kind of stuck. They can't do any team orders. They do Haas guys. Because yeah, as I said, I've been doing a lot of mistakes, and now Toxic Tomato is 2 seconds down. I think he has made a mistake, Toxic Tomato, somewhere. Oh, sorry for that. And I think we're still going. Sorry for a little bit of mistakes here. But Wi-Fi is pretty terrible right now. But as I said, we still have this DRS train from these guys. Which, you know, they're just pulling them up. But, you know, Bullet Boy can get past him. So these guys are kind of stuck. You know, it's so hard to get past people when you are in a DRS train. So very unfortunate from the guys here. Boland still dropping down on these guys. Right now, so definitely not particularly going well. But yeah, Josh, now he's 1.6 seconds to Toxic Tomato. I think Toxic Tomato did a mistake. I didn't unfortunately see what happened. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But now actually Westy is over the second behind Bullet Boy, and Lironix is just behind him. Lironix is not trying to make some pressure on Westy. He has to close the guy down. He's actually onto the second again, 7/10 of a second now. So this is just a DRS train, really. And now it looks like now Toxic Tomato is really on a mission. He has to close down the gap on Josh. But he only has 20% ERS left on his. So you also have to be careful with that one, because you will not catch people when you don't have any ERS left. That's for sure. But yeah, just taking a look here on board with Bullet Boy. He's 0.6 of a second behind Daniel from P5. But yeah, but Bullet Boy 5 behind, still not closing the gap. Just is still falling apart. I think Flint Finisher, he's trying to close down the gap now on Just Stassis for the podium position. You know, what a race Flying Finisher has done right now. It's been absolutely amazing by him. Same with Dan, you know, he's on the hot tires and he's still managing to make to close the gap. Oh, not close the gap, but still holding these guys behind him. Boland behind him. Not been a particularly great race from Boland. You know, he had the pace at the start, but unfortunately, the start where he spun, he trying to send it down inside of Toxic Tomato. End up him spinning around, and now he's down on P11. He can't really close the gap down on these guys, so not going well from him right now. But Bullet Boy, a little bit of a glitch. This sound here is also wasn't. But he's 5/10 down. You know, you want to be around 5/10 if you want to get past. So he has to close. Actually, Lewis now sending it down. It means Lironix. I think Lironix done a mistake. But now Janetsky is also coming. Lironix. So Lironix losing 2 positions in one corner. So I think he has made a mistake somewhere. You know, one mistake can cost you all. It does just show Lironix here that one mistake and you are literally lost at this group. But now West again struggling to close up in these guys. He's 0.8 of a second behind. And a full car save, no, virtual save car. Lironix spins. Lironix spun at Radion. Yeah, just losing it at Radion. Lironix. So unfortunate by Lironix here. The virtual safety car is out. And now can just take a little bit of a breathe. Yeah, just at a 3-second gap to Toxic Tomato behind him. So incredibly well done by Josh here. But yeah, we're back. Gonna register safety car. Bullet boy. Oh, bullet boy! Making a mistake into the corner. Losing a lot of time on that. Not a lot of time actually, but just a little bit of mistake. Janeski made a mistake somewhere. He's dropping down. Do he got any damage? No, he does. He just make a mistake. Bolin's now looking to get 2 points at this race. P9. He's trying to get. It's now the field is beginning to split up a little bit. With the guys here, Bullet, Westy, you know, I think they actually can make team all star, but I also don't think they will still do it. Because Westy has been showing 2 times that he was dropping down a little bit, but now Bullet Boy, he's still not close enough. On Daniel taking on Wood, Daniel's doing a brilliant job kicking up here. And Flynn finishes only 1.4 seconds behind now. 1.4 seconds behind Just Us's. Was what I was gonna say. He's 1.4 seconds behind, so he's closing up a lot right now. So interesting. Last 2 laps will be definitely, or actually 3 laps. We still have some lap going here. It's a long second, of course. So drivers will bear on here, but Bullet Boy, he's doing everything he can. He has the ERS, but Daniel also have a lot of ERS to make the move, but he has to make the move, otherwise Daniel will definitely just hold that, I'm guessing. Bolin still also pushing a lot to get P9 at this race, to get 2 points, and send track to pits. I think he has a drive-through penalty. He just took it. Yeah, he did. He did take a drive-through penalty, unfortunately, from Send Dractic. That been the race he's done, but now Bullet Boy is close. He's 4 tenths behind Daniel right now. That's what he needs to do. He needs to play as close as possible to Daniel. Otherwise, he will not get past him. But right now it looks better from Bullet Boy. He's closing a little bit. Oh, gets a little bit of a shaky exit of the corner, but still manages to. Yeah, to did it all right. But yeah, Bullet Boy 5 tenths behind. That actually 6 tenths now. It's the same again. He's dropping 6 tenths of a second. Let's see how much he's gaining on the straight. Yes, he has 3 more laps to trying to get past Daniel. Otherwise, his chances of him getting a win. And now Flynn finishes 6 tenths behind Just Us's. So Flynn Finisher can actually get a podium this race. What a race will be, P16 to P3. If you say that to me, I didn't. I would say you're joking if you said that to me, that he will get a podium position at the end of this race. But I have to see, it's still 3 more laps. He has to get past him first, which is hard. I know Just as he's a hard person to get past. Great guy to, he's a great at defending. He has shown that in the sprint championship and also other races that he's been a great guy. But let's just see the penalty situations real quick. Josh here has 1 penalty. Toxic Tomato has 1 penalty as well. Just As has 0 penalties. And Flynn Finisher has 1 penalty and 2 warnings. So right now Just As he's not gonna get past him, but Flynn Finisher, he has to get through. And actually he has to he first of all had to get through, but he has to make the 3-second gap. So I think if Just As make this if he's doing the right thing, I would just let him through. I would just let Flynn Finisher through. Don't fight him and don't cause a penalty to yourself. You know, otherwise he will be in the ban. I think he knows that Flynn Finisher has a 3 seconds time penalty. So definitely don't lose a lot of time on that. That will be a great idea. You can see how close Flynn Finisher is. He's close to make a move already at Ruse. Alright, he has to just back off a little bit at ready on to not make any contact hitting his back. Just as actually defenses still. Don't know why, but Flynn Finisher just goes round the outside of Just Assets, and Flynn Finisher is up to the podium position. He has to make this 3-second gap now to Just Assets, otherwise, yeah, he's not getting this podium position. So Flynn Finisher have to really try and push as lot as he can. But he's already making a 6-second gap, so he's pushing. You can see it on his areas. He's pushing. Meanwhile, we still have this little battle here. Bolin actually catches up to Janetsky now, so Bolin out to P, fighting for P9 at this race with Janetsky. So Bolin trying to make his recovery at this race after that incident at turn 1. And Sven it's going into the pit lane again, but now you can see Flynn Finisher 8/10 of a second gap to Just As. He's still sticking in Just As though, so I don't think that Flynn Finisher can make the gap big enough to Just As. Unfortunately for him, Bolin here. But let's take a look at the penalties. There's so much action, we don't want to miss it. So we have to just come as a surprise from us, I guess. But great race from Charles right now. He has one more lap. He just had to pull this lap off, and then he can call himself the winner of this race. And our Bullet Boy has a 1-second gap to Daniel. And Wesley just behind it with Wesley trying to make a move on Bullet Boy. His team on the last lap of the race. He doesn't have DRS. Or does he? I don't know where I can't remember where the line is. Bolin get through. Janeski up to P9 now. Wesley is trying to all he can to make a move on his teammate. Bullet Boy doesn't have DRS. So Bullet Boy don't have any DRS. But will he get through? He wouldn't get through still. Wesley has to stick behind. Janeski manages to get back past Bolin for P9. Because Bolin passes him. So not particularly well. So yeah, Janeski did a little bit of mind there, you know, letting him through there and then just getting back past him. I don't know what this. But yeah, Josh coming out of the final sector of the race, and since City just going for the fastest lap, I guess. But we still have battles on the track. Still have a little bit of battle here. Wesley's actually beginning to drop off now of Bullet Boy. Bullet Boy makes a mistake again, or is that just his line? I think it's just his line. But only have one more sector to get past Janetsky, otherwise he will not get past. But let's take a look at Josh. Here's your winner for the Belgian Grand Prix here in Division 1. Josh goes over the line. He takes the win of this race. Toxic Tomato crossing the line in P2. Flynn Finisher from P6 on quick goes over the line to get P3, but he's dropping down Just As on penalties. And Daniel is actually dropping in front of Flynn Finisher. He is what a lap from Daniel. 1 minute 44. Bullet Boy crossing 9 P6. Lewis in 7. Bolin in 8. 9 Janeski. And Wesley dropping down to P10. Not a great race from him. Extra rotation getting P11. Mr. Pop XL getting P12 at this race. And then we have Sin Tracity at P13 here. Yeah, he's just doing one more lap. Here we can just stick on board with him. He's just doing his he's just doing getting a fine what can we say, trying to get the fastest start of the race. But yeah, but it was a great race. That was a great race to commentate, you know. But Flynn Finisher, great result by him. You know, it's been one of the races we have had. A great race the guys did today. Josh with, yeah, a dominant win. No, I wouldn't say dominant. I wouldn't say dominant at all. But a great race he did. A great race. And Toxic Tomato crossing the line, second place. You know, leading a lot this race. So it was definitely a great race. Just as getting third, Daniel in fourth. You know, very good in his championship he has been right now. But yeah, that was all. From that, we'll just take a look at the grid here. And then we run up the stream for today. And draft today is given to Flint Finisher. I will also say that, but we have to vote. You know, it will be a voting later on today on the Twitter, so be sure to check that out. And if you haven't checked D2, I think D2 is still live. Yeah, D2 is still live. If you want to check that out, you can also watch D3, which has also been raced. I don't know if it's still racing going on, but you can also watch that. But just take a look at grid real quick for the Spanish, oh, not the Spanish, but from the Belgian Grand Prix. We have just in first place, Tuck Tomato in second, Justus in third, Dan in fourth, Flint Finch on fifth, great recovery from him, Bullet Point 6, Lewis in 7, Bolin in 8, Janicki in 9, West in 10, Extra Rotation in 11, Mr. Pop in 12, Centricity in 13, Lyronix in 14, Nico in 15, and McCrew finish on the grid in P16. Yeah, that was all for Division 1 here today. I hope you all enjoyed the commentary, and hopefully Luke will be back next week. But yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you